ports. It's become a whole TikTok meme that whenever you see construction equipment coming into the port in Ghana, it belongs to Ibrahim Traoré, right? Because everyone can see that that country, which was a total nothing country a decade ago, nobody ever thought about it for any reason. It was a completely unremarkable, unspectacular country that had no importance whatsoever, even in West Africa, has now become this huge construction site. And people are thinking, wait, if this is a country which we never thought of as particularly, endowed or wealthy in any meaningful sense, if in 3 years this country can make all these things happen for itself, then when you have countries like Nigeria or Ghana, which have all of the resource endowment that you've heard of and haven't heard of, and yet somehow constructing a road to link two cities, such an impossible endeavor. What's really going on here? So after all these decades of, voting and voting and voting, and, shortly before every election, the candidates have to go to this place called Chatham House in London, and nobody knows why they have to do that. And they have to go through this whole charade, and then at the end of the day, the Electoral Commission announces whatever result it's going to announce anyway, regardless of how people voted. And then the guy comes in that he didn't vote for, and then the US president tweets his congratulations to him and says, "We look forward to working with you." And then you feel betrayed, and you go through that whole rigmarole all over again in 4 years' time. And people are realizing that, wait, so you mean there's another way, and there's a much shorter way to this nirvana called development. And actually, the issue was never about who is authoritarian and who is democratic, and the issue was actually about economic and political sovereignty all along. And finally, the conversation is shifting in a way that it has never shifted before. And that is why you will get a bunch of Western analysts and media platforms and politicians who are so horrified by what is happening in the Sahel and by the fact that it's capturing the imaginations of young people across the continent. Because make no mistake, this isn't going to stop in the Sahel or in West Africa. This is going to sweep across the entire continent, because we have pretty much the same problems across the entire continent. And people are realizing now that there's another way. So Ibrahim Traoré and his two accomplices in the Sahel are just the first wave. There are going to be many more.